With coverage you can count on. Now your First Warn 5 forecast with meteorologist Bryan Bachman.
All right, good evening, everyone. The good news is that it doesn't look like the weather, this cool, harsh weather that we've had today, is going to be sticking around for too terribly long. In fact, by the end of the week, we're going to be seeing the milder weather return in the form of some middle and maybe even upper 60s as we approach Sunday. More on that coming up in a moment. First, though, we'll look at your First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar. And despite the, well, frankly, harsh chill that's in the air today, thanks to those winds mainly out of the north today, the silver lining is that we got the rain out of here. You can see on your First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar all across lower Michigan this evening. We are in great shape weather-wise around the areas on the roadways tonight. Shouldn't encounter any problems. Just, of course, keep both hands on that steering wheel because of those gusty winds that'll be out there from time to time. And, of course, bundle up, too, if you have any plans that take you out and about this evening. Let's look at some of the current conditions over the vicinity of Flint right now. You can see the evening commute underway. Chilly down there, too. 46 degrees. Really, though, feels closer to 36 degrees when you factor in that east to northeast wind at about 13 miles per hour. It's a similar story as we head to Bay City. A little bit of sun, though, filtering through the clouds where the temperature a touch milder at 48 degrees and 46 for downtown Saginaw, where the sun also finally managing to punch its way through this thick cloud deck. But let's rewind the clock a little bit. We actually caught this little guy hanging out on our Saginaw downtown camera today, a little antenna sitting up there, and you can see I'm no expert in falconry, but this was a falcon nonetheless. I couldn't tell you exactly what type, but you could see he was kind of hanging out there before he, well, took those wind under his wings and made it out on his way. Not a bad way to spend the afternoon, I guess, from that point of view. Temperature-wise, as for the rest of us this evening, we got to bundle up. 46 in Port Hope, it's 43 in Bad Axe, 44 in Oscoda, 48 in Houghton Lake, and you can see where the sun did manage to punch out mainly north and west of Saginaw Bay. We did at least make the low 50s. Though it never really felt that way thanks to these strong winds, 20-mile-per-hour winds straight out of the north in Port Hope, and then varying from about anywhere between 5 to 15 miles per hour, also mainly out of the north in most other locations. So the end result, you factor all of that in, and here's what it really feels like tonight. Stuck under the clouds in parts of the thumb to Flint tonight. Oof, just feels anything but like late October. We're seeing wind chill readings feeling much more like the upper 30s. Feels like the low 40s in Saginaw and Owasso, and closer to normal, but not quite near the actual air temperatures in parts of the areas to the west of the Tri-Cities. Here's what we're looking forward to later in the week, however. Maybe warm you up just by looking at this map here. Some much milder air, a surge way up into the northern plains. You can see smack dab in central South Dakota and Pierre. They're already at 82 degrees now. We won't see temperatures quite that warm, but some 60s definitely not going to be out of the question as this whole air mass gradually migrates its way to the east and kind of shoves this cooler, chilly air mass out of the picture. First Warn 5 Sky Tracker, here's the setup. We have the low pressure system still working its way out of the picture, so we're kind of trapped in that northerly wind flow for the time being, but our big friend over here, Mr. High Pressure, he's going to push that low pressure out of the mix, bringing that much milder air mass into the picture as we go through the remainder of the week. So here's your I-75 microcast. One more real chilly day tomorrow with the winds out there, generally in the low 50s from Saginaw to Frankenmuth at 53, 52 for the high tomorrow in Grand Blanc. Along the I-69 corridor, a similar story, 53 for the high tomorrow for Owasso and Flint, 52 in Lapeer under a partly to mostly sunny sky. And around the thumb tomorrow, low 50s, 51 to Bad Axe, Caro, and Sandusky. Reese comes in at 52 tomorrow, but the silver lining is that we should have much more in the way of some sunshine. 60s return by the end of the week, and we are in for a real treat this weekend. Definitely not feeling like it would for normal late October.
Oh, I'm telling you, it looks nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Thank you, Brian.